I have returned with your daily dose of Cyberpunk 2077 news updates. We've got some amazing Nomad gameplay to show off on PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5. We've already seen the Xbox Series X stuff and Xbox One X gameplay, but this is really cool. We're taking a look at PlayStation stuff right here. Also, Cyberpunk 2077 may actually make you cry. Some really interesting perspectives from journalists about how this game is actually super emotional in some ways, and that ties back to what CD Projekt is really known for, storytelling. And of course, we saw a lot of that in The Witcher 3. And yeah, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at more customization options in the game. We're going to be looking at a quest line which takes you across the border, and talking about the next-gen upgrade as well. And it's likely that, yes, expect some patches post-launch for Cyberpunk 2077. So, a lot of stuff to go over. Welcome back, everyone. Overworld Games here. Hope you're doing good. Remember, I'm going over your top comments at the end of the video, so wait for it. It's going to be awesome. And leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up in a future video. But check this out. PlayStation 5 gameplay via backwards compatibility. We're going to get into more about the next-gen upgrade process here in just a moment, straight from CD Projekt Red. But let's take a look at this right here. First of all, it says there's way more of The Witcher 3 in Cyberpunk 2077 than you've been told. This comes from PC Gamer. They go on to say the following: don't trust the marketing. Cyberpunk is full of heart and earnest, oddball characters. And this is great news to hear right here. This is definitely the DNA of CD Projekt Red, having great characters, great story. Furthermore, it says this: we've been a bit worried at PC Gamer crowding around every new demo and trailer, hopeful that some of the excellent writing and oddball quests we love in The Witcher 3 would somehow turn up in the marketing material for Cyberpunk 2077. Not so. It's cooled our anticipation for one of the most curious games of the decade over the years. They go on to say, furthermore, but with Andy Kelly's recent 15-hour hands-on session with Cyberpunk 2077, he's crawled out of Night City to report that all that edgy marketing, it's just marketing, baby. Cyberpunk has plenty of heart. This is excellent news once again. They say this on this week's episode of the PC Gamer Show. Andy tells me Cyberpunk 2077 has plenty of small touches and well-considered characters that readily recall some of the best Witcher 3 quests, the Bloody Baron in particular. Now, this questline is actually really kind of making the news right here. This is from CD Projekt Red's very own Powell Capella, who says this: I just completed a certain quest in Cyberpunk 2077, and while I don't usually get emotional playing games, I had to pause and take a breather after this one. Our quest designers and writers created an insanely good experience. Furthermore, Conrad replied to this saying same level of emotions as Bloody Baron storyline, and of course he's referring to that story arc in The Witcher 3. And this was the response: similar, more personal. Will not say more. This needs to be experienced. I love games that give you emotion. One of the games that really gave emotion for me was The Last of Us, especially near the end of that game. And then, of course, the Uncharted franchise when it neared the end of Uncharted 4 especially. But yeah, let me know what game has actually made you super emotional, perhaps even cry. Sound off in the comments. Don't be afraid. I'm curious. Have at it. All right, here we go. Well, let's talk about the next-gen upgrade. What you're seeing here right now on screen is PlayStation 4 gameplay. Excuse me, PlayStation 4 Pro gameplay. That's super important. And then we've been seeing PlayStation 5 gameplay with a PlayStation 4 copy in that compatibility mode. But let's see what this has to say here. James Watley says this: sorry for the dumbass question. Does it matter that it's running on PS5 if it's running on the PS4 version 5 backwards compatibility? Here's the response from the official Cyberpunk account. It says game does benefit from the new hardware. Yes, having said that, there will be a free upgrade later down the road that will help enhancing performance even further. And then the follow-up response was this: appreciate the response, thank you. Would love to read more about those benefits in detail. I pre-ordered and am considering leaving it in its wrapping until the next-gen update drops. Smiley face. How many of you are going to actually do that? Let me know if you're going to wait for the next gen update. Now, furthermore, Cyberpunk did respond and say, this, we'll share more, but as the upgrade is not happening right at launch, we'll need to focus on those platforms first. Now, this indicates to me that they're expecting to take a look at what's going on post-launch with the game and determine what the most problematic areas are going to be with the game and patch it post-launch. They're already doing that, patches to the game because of this 21 day delay. But yeah, I am expecting patches to be going live post-launch for Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe even changing some of the gameplay. Who knows what's going to happen there. But yeah, I will keep you guys in the know what is going on with the next-gen update and, of course, those patches. So stay tuned. All right, check this out. Some customization, some new stuff here from PlayStation 4 Pro. As you can see, it's looking really, really sharp, even on what would be considered current-gen consoles. Of course, it's going to even look better on next-gen consoles, and especially really good on PC. But let me know what you make of that gameplay and the customization right there. Now, they did show off a really cool quest line. They didn't show all of it, of course. We've seen some of this before, so I don't think this is really spoilers anymore. But playing as a Nomad, it looks like you can get in there and fix the engine yourself. You might need some skills here to unlock, but I imagine this might be definitely something that you might want to look into, especially if you're going to be getting into racing in the game. It's going to be interesting to see if you're going to have to address your engine often. Who knows? This could actually be dedicated just to this mission, of course, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, you will have borders in this game and checkpoints. That has been confirmed. And a lot of these borders and checkpoints are going to involve those combat zones, those really dangerous areas that you kind of want to avoid. And it looks like there's going to be a multitude of ways to get across the border. Maybe you can have your wits about you in terms of dialogue and really talk your way out of situations. Or I'm curious to see how many of you actually attempt to go guns a-blazing. But as you approach the city as a Nomad, looks like you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time getting into Night City, actually. So there's a little bit of a different gameplay experience from the perspective of a Nomad versus being a street kid or a corpo. And once you're inside the city, of course, there's a lot more dangers there as well. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about. This is the max tech that you're going to be seeing here in just a moment. This is one of the elite police forces that actually hunt down cyber psychos. Now, you can actually be kind of classified as a cyber psycho in this game if you commit too many crimes or just go absolutely crazy with the gunplay and perhaps start hurting civilians. But yeah, the max tac, you do not want to mess with them. They cleared this problem out instantly. So yeah, you can see how aggressive they are. Now, a lot of these scenes, you're going to be seeing Jackie talking. And he's actually speaking in a different language. And you'll see some of those words highlighted. Someone noticed this out on Reddit. This comes from Nira Veneer, I think it is, who says, if V doesn't have the translating mod, foreign words appear highlighted in dialogue. I thought that was such a cool thing. So yes, you can actually get certain cyberware or modifications that can translate what some of these characters are actually saying on screen. So I thought that was very, very cool. Now, let's talk about customizing your controller just a little bit more here. So yes, this was the question from Belazera, who says, hey, can you tell me if we are going to be able to customize the dead zone on the controller in Cyberpunk 2077? Mine is busted. And then Powell Capella says, yes, both inner and outer dead zones are customizable. I'm curious to see how extensive the customization is going to be in this game. We're seeing some, I assume this is going to be controller gameplay since this is on PlayStation 5, but you can see how the aim is actually working here, and it sounds like you're going to have several different options to really fine-tune that experience to your liking. But let's keep going. On to your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. Let's do this. First off, comment comes from Cairo, who says this: every game has a day one patch for bugs. Why are people acting like this is new? Yeah, exactly. I just hope that it's not too extensive, you know, with the patchwork. It sounds like the 21-day delay is going to be super helpful to this game. And from what we're seeing, you know, so far, it's looking really sharp. We have heard journalists saying that yes, there are visual bugs and glitches, and they hope that's ironed out with that day one patch. So crossing our fingers here that that is actually the case. Cyborg 20XX says this: it's the map density that matters, not square area. The map is very vertical above and below, as well as the outskirts. People need to chill. You got 442 upvotes on that one. So a lot of you guys agree with that the density really matters and there's that verticality. So I personally think the map is going to be fine, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to provide us with practically endless time to play the game. Fred RC says this: I feel like I'm not overhyped about this game. I don't want a huge AC Odyssey map filled with nothingness. I have faith in CD Projekt Red for quests, that's for sure. The thing is that I don't expect a perfect game. Nobody should. This game will have flaws, bugs, small errors. The game is made by people after all. After all, though, I think that CD Projekt Red puts a lot of effort in their games, and I think that it makes it worth it. Okay, bye. Yeah, seems like a lot of you agree with that one as well. Now, furthermore, Nigel Joyce says this: I'm willing to bet the space station could be one of those expansions. That's my thinking. They've shown no indication of, space station gameplay. They could perhaps have some surprises in there. I'm thinking that there are going to be several really, really cool surprises in this game. Could that be one of them in the core game? We'll see. But a space station DLC that's absolutely huge would be very, very cool. I would absolutely love that. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Open World Games for more Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. There's going to be a ton of updates related to Cyberpunk 2077. So smack that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on dim notifications. All right, take care, everyone, and I will see you next time.